Okay everyone, welcome to Canvas Kids. This week we are going to be painting a bee. So this is what it's going to look like. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take white paint and you're going to paint where the wings are. You don't have to be nice and neat and stay in the lines. Just give it a quick coating of white that's not real thick because you won't want it to smear your other colors. So just go ahead, give it a quick coating, make sure you have no lumps. You don't have to stay in the lines because it won't show up in the other places anyway. So go ahead and just do that. Real quick like that, okay? So the next step is we're going to paint all the yellow parts. We're going to start with the lightest colors and work our way to the darker color. And there's only 4 colors in this one anyway. So first, after the white is going to be yellow. So I'm going to start with his head or her head. And this time you do want to make sure you stay in the lines the best you can. You don't have to at that spot because that first one is yellow as well. So go ahead. When you paint the bee, since it's around his head, you sure want to try to keep going around it so your stroke marks go circular with the shape. You don't have to worry about it so much in the middle, but around the outer edge especially it looks better. If you go circular, it shows up nicer. And try, like I said, not to have lumps. Okay. If you go over the lines where the yellow and the black go together, it's not so much of a problem because the black is so dark it'll hide where your yellow is if you go over the lines. And it always happens to all of us, so don't worry about it. Especially right now because I'm trying to not go too slow for you guys. So you guys can take your time and make sure you're trying to do it as neat as you can. One more yellow stripe. Okay, so his yellow parts are done. Now the next thing to do would be the background. Everybody was given a little cup of this color. It's an aqua color. I don't have that because I'm running low and I need to save it for another paint. So we're going to pretend like this is the aqua color. And I'm just going to paint it a little bit. I'm not going to do the entire background. But this is the color that the aqua is going to come out when you paint it just straight from the little container onto your board. It's a nice bright color that the bee shows up good on. But if you want to add a little white to it to make it a little lighter, you can. If you have a different color at home you want to use, you can. I just like this one because I think he shows up really good on this color. So I'm just going to show you. I would just go through. I'm going to paint over here where the antennas are going to be. So just paint your background all the way around your entire bee as carefully as you can without getting it over. into the other parts. Turn this around so I can reach it better. Remember, this is the last painting class of the spring session. We will start programming up again in the summer, and we'll continue painting then. So I hope to see you all then. So just go ahead, be as careful as you can. I should be using a bigger brush, but I didn't grab one. And if you went over with the yellow at all, hopefully your background color will cover it up. Now with your tail, I'm just going to do that much just to show you when I do the antenna. With your tail, it was very hard to trace the lines that I was copying it from. So what you could do is you could cover up the whole background, the whole tail part with your background color like this. And you could just paint on the tail afterward. Because even after I put this over it, I can still see the lines underneath, so I could kind of copy it where it was anyway. So that's why I'm just covering up part of it here so I could show you what I would do. Okay, so we're going to pretend like my entire background has been painted. And now we're going to do the darkest color, which is going to be the black. So that way we could cover up all our other mistakes in case we made any. So first I would take the black and I would do the stripes. Especially since you really should let that background dry before you do the tail and the antenna anyway. Turn this just so I can reach it a little better. And if you ever have to turn your canvas around just to be able to reach it better to paint, go right ahead and do it. Nobody said you have to keep it the same way, right side up. You just do whatever is easiest for you. Boy, I really messed up my lines there. That's okay. All right, so now one stripe is done. We do the other one. Now I'm going to turn it around so I can get to where his tail is. I'm going to switch to my smaller brush now. Smaller brush, but unfortunately my bristles keep spreading out on me. Okay, so what I would do is I would take the brush and now I'm just going to go ahead and make my own tail, kind of following the lines that I traced. And it'll cover up your background color. Brush keeps spreading out. There we go. See, just like that. And if you have to go back and touch it up a little bit, you can do that. My green wasn't quite dry enough, which is why I did that. Okay, so then for the antenna, I'm just going to go ahead. I don't remember if I traced the antennas on yours or not. I did them a while ago, so I don't remember. So just, if I traced them on your canvases, go ahead and just paint over where I made the lines. If not, just come up with your own antennas. Mine are going to look like that. And now I'm going to do his face. He's got a smile. That. And I should have gave you guys Google eyes. That would have been a good idea. This brush doesn't make circles very well. It spreads out too much. Okay. Got one big eye, one small eye. Okay, there we go. All right, so that is going to be your B. Now the final finishing touches are, which you know what, I'm going to grab my little brush. That one is not going to work out well whatsoever. So 1 second. Grab my little brush right here. Now when you're all done with that part, you have his face on, his tail, his background, everything is done and dry. Well, it doesn't have to be dry, it's fine. You could take the skinniest brush you have, and what you want is you want to outline your B. So you're going to take a skinny brush and you're going to just go across like this and outline him. And then that way you could fix it if you went over the lines at all and kind of hide it up. So just like that. This is the brush I should have used when I did the tail. So you're going to outline him. Just so everything shows up better. You're also going to do the wings. You need a steady hand and a skinny brush. No, I don't have a steady hand. Got a skinny brush though. You could also make these lines. If you have a black marker, you could try that. A Sharpie marker has got a nice point to it, but you need a marker with a point. So you need something like a Sharpie. I wouldn't use a washable marker. So if you have like a Crayola marker, I wouldn't use that. But see, you're going to outline him like this. You're going to outline his head. That way his line will disappear that's there. And it'll look better. Just kind of finishes him off and makes everything show up better. Makes the yellow show up against the background better. It makes his wings show up better. Just kind of makes it all look a little bit better. And I'm going to wrap this up because somebody's cutting grass and making lots of noise. Okay, so we're going to pretend like my background is completely painted, but that's all you're going to do. So when you're all done, you're going to go back through and you're going to make your outlines. And then when you are all finished, you will have that. All right. So thanks for coming, and I hope to see you over the summer. Bye.